Hey guys, what's up? Good evening. I am Yalek, and this is another Boom Beach video, and we're going to make a few things go boom. Quick order of business. I'm on the wrong account for it, because this is my lowest level account. I've changed the names on my two lower level accounts after much consideration, because you can only do it one time, which is probably fair. Like, I almost want to be annoyed at Supercell for letting you only change your account name one time, but then otherwise, if you could do it innumerable times, then people would just change their names constantly. So I decided I would change the names on my two lower level accounts. So they are all Yalek now, all three, but the mid-level account, the 44, has two capital L's. So that's my Hockey Sticks account, and this one has a capital K at the end, so it's going to be my special K account. And then there's just my regular Yalek account. So now that you're on board with the, with the name change and so on. Yeah, so I'm on the wrong account to show you this, but it's a Sunday evening, so we've just had the prototypes reset. Truly disappointed, because there were a bunch of people who were live streaming this beforehand for YouTube videos, and it ended up that the new prototype, instead of being like the Boom Surprise, which we have not seen yet in gameplay, instead of being like the Microwaver, which we have not seen yet in gameplay, or being the Flotsam machine, which is sort of like the 360-degree mine shooter machine. Nope, not that either. None of those. We have the CMOs again, which there's nothing wrong with the CMOs, except they're kind of boring because we've seen a whole bunch of them. They were packed on the last Mega Crab, and they were all over gameplay, and now they're going to be back in gameplay, and presumably on the next Mega Crab a week from now. So that kind of sucks. Also, really very disappointing. On my max level account, I'm not at all interested in them. I mean, I'd call it my Yalek account, but they're all Yalek now. Anyway, I'm not at all interested in the things. But on my mid-level account, I actually considered going to build one, because they do pack a pretty good punch. The thing is like 1,500 damage per shot or something like that. So I went to my weapons lab to try to build one, and you can't do it, because it's only a weapon 1, or a tier 1 weapons lab, and so it has to be upgraded to level 2 before you can even build one of the newer, like the handy-dandy newer prototypes. That's really disappointing. So you've got this like staggered 2-tier system where, whatever, I'm not even going to go on about it. It's stupid. Anyway, of no use to me. On any account, apparently. On this account, because I don't have a weapons lab yet. That's what that notification is about. And on my mid-level account, because I can't build it yet. And on my max level account, because I don't really see much point. So, alright. Oh, and also Crab is going to be boring, because it's going to be packed with CMOs again. So, that's something to look forward to. And now that we've gotten all that optimism out of the way, I figured I would show a quick selection of hits from my mid-level accounts. Some fun stuff that I have done recently. We'll start with this one. This is mid-level 44 versus 52. You can see it was Boom Raider at the time. That has not changed, but I don't know if that was a good choice or not, but I kind of wanted to do it. So, anyway, you will see the drop. 2 boats of heavy, let them get out front. Everspark behind them, and the Zookas behind that, and a midway flare just to get everybody grouped up a little bit. This guy helped me by having all of his mines arranged in a very orderly fashion, right to the front of the base. Just fixed in a line. Thank you. Actually, if you're gonna, mines are honestly, either hide them or just scatter them pell-mell throughout your base. That's the best way. And get to the back of the HQ, and we flare forward a little bit, a few shocks. Not too long of a walk, so that helps. And get a little separation, the heavies pull out front, and the Zookas just pretty much melt the HQ in just a few shots, which is awesome to watch. Yeah, I mean, on my max level account, I have, the mines are just, I mean, I'm a little proud of it. I put some work into it, but the mines are hidden everywhere. But if you're not going to do that, then just scatter them all over the place. Actually, like, I don't quite, if you're not going to hide them, don't make them consistent like that. Don't make them so easy. And people make that mistake. I had a guy this morning on my max level account who had made that mistake, and the mines, ended up being a warrior rush, and the mines are just all in nice orderly rows right at the front of the base. So it takes one barrage, and then gone. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Kind of dumb. Try to make it hard, just a little bit. This is a 44 versus a 57. Clearing out that flamethrower, and that's going to be my pocket. I'm going to want the Zookas to sit back there. This guy has no ice, which doesn't matter as much on these mid-level hits. Okay, tagging the boom cannon, and so we're going to be bringing Everspark here with universal remote. Got 3 boats of heavies, and that boom cannon is going to be a shield for us against things that would be shooting us from this area, or even that rocket launcher, to be honest. So midway flare. I like to flare directly to the mine in the middle of the base, just to make sure that the heavies get it. And then the mines peter out. Again, there's just nothing to the back of the base. So flaring to that mine, sort of. Well, anyway, yeah. Probably flare back, I would hope. Nope, just flare straight forward into it, and hack. One shock off to the left side. Good separation there. And the Zookas are kind of dwindling, but still really well bunched back there. And that's plenty to get the HQ down with the heavy spread out in a nice line along the HQ like that. And down that one goes. Boom, boom, boom. This was a fun one. I've made this joke a few times because a lot of these attacks, and here's another one where the mines are pretty orderly and easy to overcome. I'm going to try to use the temporary explosive drones gunboat ability to clear a few, but then we'll use heavies to clear the rest. Get the far rocket launcher first, because that's one we're not going to be able to get to, whereas this is a problem and this is a problem, but now we're on that side of the base, so we should be able to get to them with very little problem. Smoke up, be in the blind spot of the rocket launcher, as you can see. And I think we're going to flare forward to the, I would guess, the mortar? And probably throw a shock on the, yep, mortar, and throw a shock onto the 3 towers here are a problem. Beautiful thing about a setup like this is that it gives me tons of GBA right off the bat. He had those 3 residences right there. And normally, actually, what I would have done is flared up here in a setup like this. But I had the critters, I had the shocks. It's pretty much just the doom now that's worrying me. So a little bit more with the explosive drones, trying to create distractions. I have the critters going out. He had stacked all of his economy buildings to the back of the base, so the critters are going forwards into the heart of the defenses, because those are the closest things to them, and that's really what you want the critters to be doing. So I'm trying to break up these hits a little bit. You'll see a brick hit a little bit later. I've been trying to use universal remote, as you saw earlier. In some cases, the whole point with Sparky is to create a distraction. If the economy buildings are separated, then critters is fantastic. If they're way to the back of the base, then the critters will go into the defenses, and then they'll create a wonderful distraction. But if the defenses are sort of like touching up against the economy buildings, if they are pretty much equally distant, then the critters will often head back into the economy buildings and start chewing those up, which does give GBE, and that's great, I guess, but it doesn't create the distraction that you want. So, just being selective with the hero based on the situation. This guy immediately looked at this base and realized he did a dumb thing by putting this rocket launcher all the way down here. So spending more GBE than I normally would to take out the 2 shock launchers, and then I'm going to land left. Let's actually speed this up. Just 2 bow to heavy, because I am assuming by the back of this base I won't need them. And again, this is not something I would normally do, but I'm clearing a whole bunch of stuff trying to get to that rocket launcher. And once that rocket launcher goes down, we're going to flare away from it. Just get away from everything as quickly as possible. And now the only real problem that we have in this base at all, don't know what we have left there for heavies. It's not a bunch, but it's enough. The real problem is just this. So we do have some heavies, and we're trying to keep them out front. We're trying to keep everybody to the back of the base to stay away from this rocket. Some heavies and some critters, and just trying to create distractions as much as possible. A shock. I think we ended up flaring, yeah, directly flare to the rocket to get it down. And then there's nothing but one hitters in the area that can range me. Just way too spread out base design. And he had no ice, which again does not matter as much at this level as it does at higher levels, because it's really, since you have fewer towers at this level, I feel like it's more a question of design than it is about the amount of ice. You shouldn't have ice at this level anyway. I've said that repeatedly. But you know, it does help, because it means the buildings do go down more easily. This was an AZ attack, which I think I had scoped out beforehand by like dry running. You know, like doing the attack but not landing troops, but doing everything else as if I would have had I been landing troops, just to be on the safe side. And I had way more GBE than I needed to do this, so had to give this a go. Clear a few mines, 2 smoke landing, gather everybody up under a 3rd smoke, flare back to a nice spot where we'll be right in the middle of this rocket launcher. And the way I'm looking at this, I'm seeing there's a shock here that can encompass these 4 towers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there should be a shock here that can do the same. And as long as you land those shocks, then you're going to have all kinds of time on the HQ. Everybody's sitting nicely under 1 smoke. There's 1, there's 2. Got everything. And there's really nothing even shooting at me. Those 4 guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, are shocked. And then those 4 guys over here were shocked. That one already exploded because it's being demolished as the HQ goes down. But those 4 and those 4, and as long as you get those things, then there's nothing else even to shoot you except like a couple snipers and so on. And down that one goes. Like I said, I do believe I had planned that out before. Always a good idea. Like, when you're in question, and at this level the GBE is always in question to do something like that. And then this from later on tonight, and this was pretty fun. I think this was 1 boat of heavy, and again, same thing, I had plotted this out beforehand, looked at my path, liked this spot over here. There was just 1 mine, so I popped that with an artillery, and 1 boat of heavy, because I didn't have enough GBE for all the shocks I was going to need to do, but didn't necessarily need to do all those shocks if I sacrificed just that little bit of damage. And these shocks, I will be honest, were not as clean. Like, ideally, I should have had one right here, and I could have gotten all 4 of those towers. Really shouldn't even have worried about the blaster, and should have just done like one right here. But 2 girls peek out the back of this on me, so ended up just throwing 2 over here, kind of panic shocks. And as it turned out, the heavies lasted just long enough. Threw the med kit on the girls in case I was going to need a tiny bit more time, but really didn't, because there was a bunch of Zukas left. Absolutely no heavies, because they just got eaten alive. But, you know, that was the whole point of the attack. The heavies were going to be expendable, and I didn't figure... I mean, I needed a little bit of a wall, a buffer, but not that much. So, yeah. Anyway, I have been quite busy here. Actually, oh, it's such a pity. I'm on this account and not my 44. On my 44, I've just managed to open up one of the tribal regions. Just realized this. And so I opened up one and got the barrage boost that's going on for this week, this tribe cycle. And I had gold this morning and decided to do an armory upgrade, and then went back to my map and looked at it and realized I could have actually opened up another tribe region too, which would have been, I think it was the rifleman damage this week. But either way, it would be an offensive tribe boost, which I'm all about on these accounts now. So it's a pity I missed on that, but I was a little slow to the party. Either way, I should have it in a day or 2. But, oh man, when I realized that I now have tribes on my side too, that was a whole lot of fun. But on this account, we're not even close to that yet. Yeah, lots of work yet to be done there. But either way, so that's what, 44? So this is 36, so we're not looking at that much, I suppose. But it's not close, but it's not far. Either way, it's something to look forward to. Anyway, I have been keeping busy. Supercell apparently has not. I don't really think the next crab is going to be all that exciting. I suppose I'll be all about it because I'm going to use it to my advantage, particularly this account. I know that this account should be to either 2 or very close to the next level, so I'll be able to get my upgrade on my HQ. I'm not quite sure about my 44. I think the 44 I might be a little bit short on the XP. 44, 45, yeah, I might be a little bit short on the XP on this one. This one needs to get to 37, and I'll be able to do my HQ, so I'm counting on that. I'm counting on big upgrades on both of these accounts, but otherwise, yeah, I'm expecting a lot of CMOs again, so that's thrilling. Anyway, hope you're interested in these videos. If you do, give them a thumbs up. Or if you are interested, give them a thumbs up. And if not, just back away slowly. Don't give them a thumbs down, or do whatever. I don't care. Anyway, I have more moving to do tomorrow. I've spent most of the day moving today, and it's probably time for me to hit the sack. So, hope you guys have a great day or a great night or whatever it is for you where you are. And I'm Yalik, and I'm out. Take it easy.